Today I'll be talking about The Babysitter, directed by Mick G. Yes, that Mick G. The one that directed all of those late 90s videos from Smash Mouth and the Bare Naked Ladies, and both Charlie's Angels movies, and even Terminator Salvation, which, okay, that's not really a compliment. Directs The Babysitter. Nah, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't get on Netflix that much anyway, and this is a Netflix original, but I was one of those people that did watch Stranger Things 2. Not on the first day, mind you, but I waited a week and then I watched all of them in the day. That's another day. It's conversation. I came back to Netflix today and it was already on the menu, so I just clicked on my name and, it was good from there. And it had this big ad for the babysitter with a knife in it, and I was like, oh, okay. It's a little late for Halloween at this point, but I don't care. I love Halloween, so, how's it gonna go? And it's a Netflix original. I mean, there's a bit of quality asserted now, isn't there? There is. There is. Just a different kind of quality. So, what's the movie about? You've got this kid, Cole, and he's getting bullied, as everyone always is in movies these days. And this girl comes up and pretty much tells the boys to piss off and flattens one of their tires on their bikes. That was kind of funny. And it turns out to be this hot babe and bombs, all those words, of a babysitter. She looks like Taylor Swift if she's the devil, or she's just Taylor Swift. She is really pretty though, and even gorgeous in fact. But of course, something's up with her, and she's the babysitter, and the babysitter has a knife in the title. I think you can see where this is going. The difference here is that the parents are out of town, like on some resort kind of thing, and there's implications that they might divorce. And Cole, the main kid Cole, has been having a lot of issues overcoming fear, and this babysitter helps lighten the mood and let him have some fun, be a good babysitter, not a cranky one. And she's there and she's pretty and he can get alert pretty easily. But the day before, the day before day of this happening, this girl across the street that Cole has a big crush on, is like, why don't you figure out what this girl is like after you go to sleep? Because they're always sleeping with their boyfriends, they're throwing big parties and whatnot. And he's like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. So after all this mayhem happens and they're going to be prepped for the next day, he takes this drink from B, because she's like, you can have a shot to go to bed and help knock you out. And he's like, oh, okay, why don't you get one for me to cheers you with? And she's like, okay. And then he pours it out in the plant. Well, thankfully they don't make the plant die right away, so it didn't totally spoil it. And she's like, you're so cheap, and takes her drink anyway. And yeah, so it turns out, and this is where the tagline pretty much told me where this movie was going, and wouldn't let me figure it out on my own. So she's part of a cult. Yeah, and they need a sacrifice. Okay. So they plan to spin the bottle before this, totally gets revealed. There's just a bunch of rebel rousers at first. And this kind of geeky kid, and he doesn't fit in, and you're like, why is this geeky kid here? And it's not Cole. It's this other kid that's like a high school age, like this Queen Bee, well, because her name's Bee in the movie. Her age. Okay, so why is he here? When Bee gets dared to kiss everyone, and she goes around and does different things with each of them. and the last one's this geeky guy, and she gives him a kiss, and then stabs him with two knives. Just, what? And that's how it gets revealed this is really a cult. Yeah. So after that, it pretty much turns into a how am I going to escape this girl and all of these people? Yeah. Um, trying to think of the best way to, you know, tell everything without spoiling anything. Um, yeah, so because the kid didn't take the lace stuff, he didn't get conked out. He was, still awake and was trying to escape and had called the cops. Smart on him. And the cult find him escaping. At the very least, Queen Bee does. And yeah, she doesn't let that happen, and she, lets him faint because they've already taken the shot of blood from him, and they tie him up, and there's one kind of funny gag, like he has his pocket knife and he's trying to cut the rope behind him, right? Because he's got his hands tied behind the chair, and he's trying to cut it, and then Allison, or Bella Thorne's character, and I'll just call her Bella Thorne from now on, is all like, well, we can see you cutting the rope, dumbass. And then he keeps cutting at it. And, like, they have to mention it to him 4 times, at least. Yeah. They have this, like, black guy in the cult, and I wouldn't mention that except he keeps mentioning it and keeps talking about how his cousin Chantel is this and that, and how, lo siento, my N word. Yeah, he really says that. And just all this other stuff about how, like, Black Lives Matter. Okay, because I didn't know what movie this, what year this movie was made in. Okay, got it. And it's just other stupid shit like that. And you start to realize, especially with his character, because he's just persistent and like a complete nag, and he gets in a scuffle with Cole, and then Cole ends up shoving him off the stairs and like just killing the guy, and you're like, what movie is this now? And then after that, it basically like devolves, and there's different kinds of setups to kill off different members of the cult. Then there's a final showdown between Cole and the Queen Bee herself, and in the process, he acts really sweet to this other girl across the street, and takes her dad's car, and her dad's a complete bleh. And yeah, takes her dad's car, and like, I don't even know, like, I don't know how this is possible, but it like pretty much speeds it over, and like it hops above the front yard and like slams into the house. I mean, I was thinking about sharks in the water when this movie was going on, but when that happened, I was just like, okay, whatever shark is there, it's been jumped. It has. And the girl's still alive, like Queen Bee is still alive, and they have this whole set of dialogue, like, what? Why? And this was after Bella Thorne came back to life after getting shot. Yeah, hi. And just kept talking. I'm like, aren't you supposed to like keep bleeding out and die? Maybe I just don't know how this works, and thank God that I don't. But Queen Bee like pretty much blows her head up. Okay, fine. Yeah. So what works about this movie anyway? Well, it looks nice. Really? No, I mean, really, it does. there are some cliches that you think they're gonna do, and then they actually, you know, don't, which was pretty nice. I mean, cliches are fine and all, but sometimes you want to like make sure that like a new movie is actually being made. Yeah, there weren't really too many jump scares. I wouldn't say, not in comparison to what I was expecting. I mean, look, it's a Saturday afternoon, and it's a movie that looked like a complete slasher called The Babysitter. I was expecting, I was expecting a steaming pile of trash. Or no, actually, I wasn't. I was excited for it, but I wasn't expecting anything like Oscar worthy. Um, the acting's decent, but I will tell you, Bella Thorne is awful. I can't. Anytime she talked, I just wanted to say like, screw off, like just go away. Like, aren't you supposed to be dead? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and I mean the black guy is just like, I didn't really mind the stereotypes as much as some would, but I was just like, man, you're not even like trying to like be different. You're just spewing things, and you're too distracting, and you don't even have like an actual reason for being in this cult. That's the other thing. I mean, like, what are they gaining from this? Like, why? Like, are you immortal? Clearly, you're not. You just got killed off. Maybe it was like some like random voodoo thing that they were thinking, and they hadn't been immortal yet, and they were about to become immortal. Okay, sure. And then even when the credits are running in this, they do this whole like after credit scene, and you find out Queen Bee, who was supposedly killed off, like she's alive and like kills like one of the people investigating this scene. My personal thing would have been that it would have been really nice if the parents served as more of a purpose, frankly, than just being those parents that just go away for the weekend. I mean, shoot, my parents like never like away for the weekend and like didn't expect me to come along with them. Like for the whole weekend, where are these parents coming from? Like that just leave their kids like at the house like, for the entire weekend. I'm not talking like a day or so, like they could be like running errands or like going like a little like day trip. But like the entire weekend of like having like 2 nights of like possible debauchery, no, no. And I was also thinking this would have been perfect to have the parents as like part of the cult. Be like, oh, I see. So really, they were just like, yes, our son is just he's too he's too much of a wimp. But you know what? This is not my movie, so fine. But yeah, that would have been a good idea. Um, I mean, I liked it honestly. I may sound like I didn't like it. I really did. I especially liked when I thought this ending in particular. I thought this kid was just gonna like pick up the girl and just drive off into the not sunset because it was already dark, but like drive off into the night. And instead, he takes like her dad's car and rams it into his own house. Fascinating. Fascinatingly ridiculous. That's where this movie sits. Should you go see it? I mean, it really depends. If you're not really into like blood and guts and stuff, probably not. But I don't think that would have been like a possibility for you anyway. If you like, I don't. There's no real deception here. You're not gonna go into this movie and get something that you don't expect. They pretty much tell you how it's gonna go. I mean, look, there's a knife in the title. There's gonna be some slashing going on. Just not your stereotypical like high school slashing. No, no, you just got this girl that's in like in a cult and is pretty much bent on getting all of this power. Yeah, which I would have loved to see like more of the actual power happen, but it's fine. Um, if you are into this kind of stuff, you probably like it. Like, I don't think it would like piss you off. Some of the meta stuff would get probably a little weird, and some of the jokes, meh. But honestly, I liked it. I didn't love it. I did not love it, but I liked it. Um, but my taste is also pretty different. Um, I honestly, for me, I was sitting there baffled most of the time. I liked it, but I was baffled. Yeah, that's pretty much the best way I can describe. Like I'm sitting here like with fingers like this, doing this like what, what, um, laughing at the nonsense. I mean nonsense unfolding on the screen, and thinking that just after I had seen Stranger Things #2, that this is the next movie because I watched Beyond Stranger Things. Not because I watched Stranger Things, but because I watched Beyond Stranger Things. So maybe the meta-ness of the documentary like transpired. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I mean, in comparison to other movies, it's not going to be a classic. There's no way this is going to be a classic. But I liked it. It was the perfect like Saturday afternoon, fog everywhere. Yeah. And it was ridiculous enough I felt the need to personally make this review. I had no intentions of ever seeing this movie until it just popped up and I was like, this looks like a bunch of I don't know, cheesiness, but it's not cheesy. But it looks like I could probably get a kick out of this movie, and I did. A few. And the kid is a good actor. I'll give him that. I was like, man, I hope this kid, does great things after this. I really did. And, kid actors do not have that guarantee, and the odds of them being any good are, pretty slim. So that was definitely a big plus. Plus, Queen Bee is a riot, and she is a total babe. I could, yeah. That was probably the other appeal for this too. In terms of the actual movie making, I was surprised it was Mick G. This seems more like a first-time director than like Mick G. But he's in a lot of music videos and stuff. So when you see him pausing over the TNA, it's not a surprise. But yeah, I would probably give this movie a B, to be honest. It was that kind of like, I wouldn't say camp B, but it had camp. And I'd probably put my tent in that camp. Alright, so that was that, and I might do more Netflix original things soon. Anyway, I might talk about Stranger Things. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe when season 3 comes out, and I'll do a whole comprehensive thing. In the meantime, I'm still considering like what to do with that Stephen King project I mentioned earlier about it. So you'll hear more about it later. Okay. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.